Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the somewhat. I don't know. I don't even have a title for these things anymore for the Tuesday and Thursday vlog. So let's just say welcome to the Giant Rat Thursday edition. How about that? I don't really have any kind of strong topic. I do want to say that some of the content's been a little strange and a little off lately at times. And part of the reason is because I, believe it or not, have been dealing with all kinds of strange health issues that you get a lot of times when you are a 300-pound, 51-year-old man. One of those issues, the main issue, is lower back pain. I find it very, very, very difficult lately to even get out of bed in the morning. Every morning, I have lower back pain, muscular pain, severe stiffness in the lower back because for whatever reason, when I'm in the middle of moving stuff, like I had a dumpster for my house a few weeks ago, and I was moving furniture with my son and other members of my household over the last few weeks. Very heavy stuff. Put an air conditioner in, a big one, in the window, and other various things that I did as well. And as a result, I've been dealing with back pain. Pretty severe back pain. I hate going to the doctors. I hate spending the money. I hate taking the time. I don't have a lot of time off work, and I don't like wasting time when I know what they're going to do is put me on some drug, a steroid or a muscle relaxer or something like that I absolutely hate. In the morning, I run super hot water on my back in the shower and stretch out. And just kind of do almost like yoga stretches in the shower. And that usually takes care of it. I'm good the rest of the day. Like, I'm walking normal right now. I feel fine. I feel, it's there in the back. I can feel a little bit of, weirdness, but not pain. And I haven't taken any pain medication. This has been going on for a series of weeks to varying degrees. Seemingly, it's getting better. Not as painful. And I kind of have also learned the kind of steps I should and shouldn't take. And so that's part of it too. Like sidestepping, not sidestepping. That's part of the key right there. So that's part of it. So I decided I need to get out and start stretching this thing out here at lunch now that it's really nice out. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful here today in central Pennsylvania, and it's been just gorgeous for the past, I'd say, week or more. And by the way, I'm sorry I haven't brought that Philadelphia vlog to you yet. Been very just worn down and tired from all the activities I've been doing over the last week or so. But I'm gonna start doing some more edits tonight to that video to try and get it up. I just wanted to talk a little bit about something a little different that's been on my mind lately. I've gotten very nostalgic about Americana, and maybe that's because we're in the semi-quintencentennial. Is that how you say it? America 250. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to hit Route 66 for its 100th anniversary. I've never been on 66. Well, I might have been in Chicago at some point when I was out there on a visit. I don't know. Way back then, I didn't even know anything about Route 66 starting in Chicago. I am walking down here in my usual route, and the flowers, it's just spring. I mean, all of this right here, there's flowers over there between the two bridges here, and you can't really see them too well, but aromatic. They just smell really good. It's just this whole wild space has a real nice, pleasant fragrance to it, and it's beautiful. It feels good. Like, look at this. This is right by a major roadway here. It's just like wetlands. The wetlands that I always walk you through on the boardwalk up here. This is what I'm about to do today. But yeah, I mean, man, they've just done a great job really turning this sort of nothing space. It used to be inhabited by Native Americans. They had an ancient quarry nearby here, which we've covered in the past a little bit, and used the local water source as a quarry for making tools and presumably weapons and things like that. But yeah, they use this whole valley here, and this is rich in wildlife, flowers, just beautiful. All right, anyways, I've been thinking about the weirdness that we used to embrace here in America. Weirdness. Roadside attractions and, you know, things like that. We used to love weirdness as like part of our sense of humor. And I think that's gone away a little bit. And it's unfortunate because, you know, communities and towns and cities built entire identities out of this. Theme parks came out of that movement, I believe, and out of that sense of humor and wonderment and weirdness. I mean, look at dark rides. Most of them are kind of scary, meant to be. Like, we used to have this kind of kitschy, corny sense of humor, innocence about us as a nation, and that's gone away. I'm not really sure. Like, different people will give you different perspectives as to why we've lost our innocence in our society and things like that. There's whole like scholarly papers and all this stuff about that. I don't care about that. We've just lost something as a society. And so a lot of our roadside attractions, while they, you know, might attract the curious looky-loo every once in a while, it's just not a part of who we are. Our identity as much anymore. Now, I do think, man, that's just pretty. I do think that there's a certain segment of our society, of people, that are attracted to stuff like that, like myself. That's probably because I was raised by somebody who grew up in the 50s, right? You know, a boomer. And so I might have inherited that nostalgia. And maybe it's because we're seeing less and less of that, and maybe because some people who were raised by boomers take a largely negative view of them for some reason. That's not me. I long for the nostalgia that my parents have kind of ingrained in me. The things that they loved and took us on little adventures throughout the years. They valued things like theme parks, amusement parks, rides, and dark rides, and movies. They established an atmosphere that basically created the 80s and our love of such. So if you're a Gen Xer, chances are you were probably raised by boomers, and you understand what I'm talking about, right? That your parents loved kind of kitschy things, maybe had a sense of humor that was a little different than what you see nowadays. You see it in the media, the movies, things like that. A certain innocence. And it just makes me sad that I think we've lost that as a country and as a society. And it gets less and less every day. The longer, the closer that we get to the end of the boomers, so to speak, being around and having any kind of influence on society and on us. So I've just kind of gotten nostalgic for those things and love watching videos of roadside attractions. Justin Scar's recent trip on Route 66 with his son, Philly Captain's trip on Route 66 to honor Adam the Woo. I just really wish I could have made the 66 trip this year, and I suppose I probably could have if I would have planned far enough. But I don't think my kids would have appreciated that too much. Or my wife, Mrs. Rat, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't know what we've lost, and I don't think we are going to get back to that. And maybe that's okay. Maybe we shouldn't, because that's something that perhaps belongs to a different generation. But we can still experience that stuff in our theme parks, and the influence of that is very heavy in a lot of those places. So like the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean and places like that. The lighthearted spirit that helped that creativity that still exists in those spots. Even in a place like Knoebels, where you have a dark ride, where you have like a haunted house, a haunted mansion, that sense of humor and their sense of scary and horror. And the Black Diamond, which is also there, and another dark ride, kind of a dark ride sort of coaster with some of those elements. And it tells a story too, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I think that generation is getting older and older, and we as Gen Xers are the next ones to pass into that. So what's our nostalgia going to be? We didn't do the family road trip in the panel wagon across Route 66 like the previous generation. We flew to places. We took trains or buses or whatever, and our country was so built up that for most of us, we just kind of stayed close to home and experienced the things that were around us because there was enough to take the family vacation. Even the largely rural areas typically had an amusement park or theme park nearby, or at least some camping, fishing, hunting, things like that. Things that we started to value a little bit more than that kind of kitschy American road trip experience that was born right out of the 50s. Route 66 cross-nation transcontinental type trip. So I think we've kind of lost that to efficiency and to big destinations like Walt Disney World or flying to Hawaii or something like that. And again, that's nothing against those experiences. They are amazing in and of themselves and well worth the trips. The nostalgic American in me just really wishes that we still had that American road trip as a staple of our lives, along with the roadside attractions that brought us to those places. And unfortunately, they're just getting less and less. They're fading away. They're falling apart. You can largely only experience a lot of them in museums or in shambles on the roadside or videos on YouTube or somewhere. I guess maybe it's a little weird to be nostalgic for an era that you didn't even experience, right? And I guess I'm just kind of old school like that. It's kind of like trying to remember your childhood. You know, occasionally you'll tell a story to somebody that you grew up with about an experience from your childhood, and they'll look at you and they'll be like, yeah, that never happened. And you think to yourself, well, yeah, I remember that experience. But it isn't, it's just your mind projecting something that wasn't there or didn't happen. You remember it because you saw something on a TV commercial or a show or a movie. You heard a song. It's that projection. And so maybe that's what's going on with me in some weird way. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I got. All right, what's up this weekend? Well, Saturday, I finally got to ride the new Big Thunder Mountain Railroad after the construction, after everything they did at Walt Disney World. There's some videos of it out there, but I kind of like my video of it. And I think I'll probably post that because it's one of my favorite attractions from both coasts. I like both of them. And I actually, regardless of some people saying some negative things about the one at Walt Disney World, I think they did an okay job. I think it's good. I don't think it's worse. I don't know if it's better, but I don't believe it's worse. I like it. I waited 45 minutes in that line. I'd probably wait up to an hour in it. That's very rare for me. So it gets a thumbs up for me. It's one of the few roller coasters that my wife and I will ride together. She does not like roller coasters, but she does like that ride. In fact, she calls it one of her favorites. So I will probably post that. On Sunday, I think the Philly vlog with the convention story. That's probably what I'm doing. Please check out the videos on Saturday and Sunday. Please like and subscribe. Share if you enjoy these videos. Tell other people about them. I would really appreciate that. There is some history stuff coming soon. We're getting close to the 250. So we got to do something, right? All right, dreams, grass, churros. Have a great weekend. Bye.